What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's been a crazy, crazy day. Hope everybody had, people in Kansas City, I'm sure, it started off good and finished terribly. Shout out to the citizens that tackled that gunman. Unfortunately, sadly, Lisa Lopez, who was a local radio news person, she lost her life, as well as her 2 kids got shot. It's just, there's a special place in hell for those guys right there. Words just aren't enough on that. So today we got Mike Zimmer in the building, and Mike Zimmer basically said this is the place he wanted to be. He's not here just because he wants the job. He wants to win a Super Bowl again. He was here, part of the Cowboys, when they won their last Super Bowl. He has been a teacher of men. He's been known to be a bit of a jerk and an asshole. But, you know, I've talked about how the people, I had a teacher, Colonel Mitchner, who was in World War II, Marine, and he talked about, I can't remember the name of the hill, not World War II, maybe it was Korean War, I can't remember, but he talked about this hill that they went up, a whole bunch of troops, and only 7 of them came back down. And he was hard. He was a history teacher. He was hard. He kept a foot in your ass. But you know, of all the teachers that I remember in school, he always stood out, and I always respected him because he wouldn't settle for you half-assing things. And it seems like that is the opinion that you get from most people that have had him as a coach, as a jerk, that have kept a foot in their ass but got the most out of him. And listening to him at the press conference, it was interesting because, you know, his main thing, I can't remember the exact quote, forgive me, but basically what he was saying is scheme and coaching and all that, you know, matters to a point, but it doesn't really matter if you can't get the most out of the player. They got to buy in. They've got to be able to perform regardless of what you're putting out there. And so as I look at this, things that have been kind of swept under the rug or not deemed that important are going to have to change. They're going to have to change because one of the things that you look at, you know, we had like Rod Marinelli, who was kind of like the defensive line whisperer. Now, I'm calling Mike Zimmer the Terminator. That is my new nickname for him because he reminded me, and maybe I'm just needing glasses, but when I was seeing him sitting there at the press conference, he reminded me of the guy who played the second Terminator. I can't remember, T-1000 or whatever, you know, way back in the day. Not back then, but how he looks more like now. The guy who was the molten guy, okay? You know, he froze and he's yeah, broke. Okay, that guy. He reminded me sitting there looking like the Terminator. And so when you think of the way the players talk about him yelling and screaming and putting a foot in their ass, Terminator might fit. One of the things that I say, Rod Marinelli, defensive line whisperer. I'm going to say that Mike Zimmer is more of the linebacker, defensive back whisperer. And him being here will probably fit perfectly because he likes to play a lot of man-to-man. He likes to find mismatches for his rushers. So you can see him using, you know, Stephon Gilmore, using Diggs, using Deron Bland, man-to-man coverage, and finding the places he can put Micah Parsons to rush the ball. But what's going to be key for this defense is you need 2 big space eaters. 2 big dominant interior defensive linemen. Because they're basically going to be Not over the center. They're going to be kind of between the gap or over the guards. So you got those two guys, and then you have your edge rushers are going to be wider out than what we have right now. And then you're going to have 3 linebackers. So you need good linebackers. Definitely good linebackers. And we really just don't have them on the roster right now. Now, we should be getting Overshown back. Hopefully he can come back completely, but he's a little bit on the smaller side. But I can see the Cowboys, if they want this to work, they're going to either need to sign a really good veteran linebacker, or they're going to have to use an early draft pick to get a linebacker. And quite frankly, your offense, with the exception of running back, I know we need to do some work on the offensive line. Biotish is a free agent. Probably they could put Bell in there. I'm sure they're going to end up bringing back Tyron Smith again. You need another offensive lineman, but you definitely need a running back. If you were to get a running back, another offensive lineman, and ideally a really good wide receiver too, your offense is fine. Your defense, they're going to need a lot of help. You're going to need linebackers, and you're going to need some defensive linemen. So we'll see how this all goes. But unfortunately, we can't get everything we need in one draft. And the problem with saying we're going to do this draft, we'll get to the next draft, while you're waiting for that next draft, some of the guys that you were counting on are no longer there. So waiting doesn't help you. We've been waiting and trying to, look out for the future and things for so long that the future, yeah, okay, we're never bad, awful, but we're never good enough to compete for that Super Bowl. And if they really and truly mean that, then they have to get out of their comfort zone and get busy in about a month. Seriously, in free agency. The question I have here is, with San Francisco, what they're saying is it wasn't the game, the Super Bowl game, okay? They're saying it was philosophical difference and problems with, the defense, the run game wasn't marrying up with the passing game. It's some bullshit that they're giving you. They're just trying to give you some bullshit, because that defense only gave up 20 or more points 4 times. 4 times. That's it. And had San Francisco scored, instead of those 2 field goals, a touchdown, that game's over. Or McCaffrey does a fumble. There's so many things you can look at on that I don't know that Steve Wilks is the blame guy. However, would it be crazy to say, Steve Wilks, I know you're a defensive coordinator. I know that you are used to being a defensive coordinator. But how about you come in under Mike Zimmer and be the passing game coordinator? This will give you the opportunity for some payback, because the Cowboys could get some direct intel on the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys could have a guy who was playing, doing some pretty good things. And right now, there's not a lot of guys that are available. I wonder, was it Steve Wilks calling Mike Zimmer during the press conference? Because it was about that time that he got fired. Whoa. It could be. All right, good people. It is Valentine's Day, and I've got to go spend some more time with my beautiful bride. I appreciate you guys as well as you ladies. I hope everybody has had a good Valentine's Day. I want to remind you, when people went to the parade today, they were just feeling the joy of their team winning back-to-back Super Bowls. School was out to celebrate that. The whole city was out The weather looked nice. The last thing anybody thought would happen happened. And now mother is gone and her kids are shot. Life is crazy right now. It is crazy. That is almost unfathomable. But I keep telling y'all, life is too short and life is precious, and you need to let the people know that you love them, because Lord knows you might not get a chance again. I love you guys, and God willing, we'll all be here tomorrow. Thank you very much.